if you are watching right now, this is the replay. We're no longer live, but welcome. We are doing a Kiana and a zip around wallet. The Kiana handbag is my pattern, so it's available on my website, and this is by Maggie55. It's the classic zip around wallet. I'm going to wait for my TikTok friends to jump on, and then we will get started. Hello. Hey, Stephanie. Happy Friday. Hi. Hey, Janice. Hey, Felly. How is everybody doing? This is a custom order for Lorraine. She said she's going to be a little bit late jumping on, so I'm just going to go ahead and get started. Wait for a couple more people to jump on, and then I'll show you guys the goods we're working with. We're just watching you on YouTube. Got a notification. Awesome. Doing great. Hey, Danny. Oh, that's awesome. You're on vacation now? Yes, this is going to be a zip around wallet. I'll show you guys the print that we're using. So this was the print that she decided on, which is this really pretty lily. I think I talked about this in my last live, and I knew I wasn't going to do it justice, but this is going to be her zip around wallet. So this is going to be the front and then the back. And then she also ordered a Kiana handbag. So we're going to do that next. This is the interior fabric that she chose, which I think it goes so well with the tan and the pattern. And then for the Kiana, she decided to go with a black coordinating vinyl. Isn't it pretty? She's going to be a little bit late, so that's why I'm just kind of jumping into it. But this, the first thing that I'm going to be making is the classic zip around wallet. It is a pattern by Maggie55. It's going to take a couple hours to get this order done, so I didn't want to like just sit around and wait until she jumped on. But if any of my moderators, if you could pin her when she does jump on, her name is Lorraine. Hey, lady. Is this you? Is this the Lorraine I'm talking about? Okay, so the credit card slots one goes upside down, but at the end when it's all done, they'll be right side up. Oh, good. Okay, so it's Lainey. All right, let me grab my ruler. Did you get a chance to see the fabric when I showed it, or do you want me to pull it back out? I'm just trimming off the excess sides. Family nickname. Okay, good. Alright, so I'm just getting the credit card panels lined up. I'm going to sew those down first. I'm going to just remeasure, make sure everything is right. So for the credit card panel, we're going to sew down the side, across the bottom, and then back up the side. We're not going to sew the top down, and that's going to give us a little section behind the credit card panel. You guys, I've been doing a deep dive into quilting. I think over the Christmas holiday, I'm gonna try to make my first quilt, and I'm so excited. Just made a nice classic zip around wallet the other day. Zips are going the wrong way, so I decided it's for a lefty. There you go. Alright, so I'm just trimming. You can kind of see that it's still showing a little bit, so I'm just going to trim that down. There we go. So that is sewn on. We have the little section behind the credit card panel with the piece of thread. And then we're going to do the same thing over here. I've always wanted an American patchwork quilt. Oh, that sounds pretty. I think that's where I'm like struggling right now, is what kind of quilt do I want? I have so much fabric. So the possibilities are literally endless. Let's scoot this over just a touch. Hello, Mrs. Butterbags. All right, I'm gonna clip this down and then remeasure and then get this sewn up. Girl, that is an area I can help you with. Yes, I know. I was going to try to get some things figured out, and then I was definitely gonna reach out to you. Maybe even like a video call, so be available. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and sew this side down as well. I know you probably have all kinds of different patterns. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and trim the excess off this side as well. You're very inspiring and amazing. Thanks. All right. So we got our credit card panels attached with our sections behind them. I'm going to grab our little side pieces. I like to work on the inside first because we need to give these a little bit of time to dry. Oh yes, I do it. And specialty rollers. I didn't even think about that. Now, Daph, do you have a like a rotary cutter and a mat, or do you use scissors? All right, this is fabric glue. You can get it at any local craft store. That's another thing. Do you glue baste your, what's the piece for the edge of the quilt? Because I saw some videos where some people were glue basting it and some people were sewing it down or clipping it. Is it called binding? All right, so I'm just going to line this side up with the actual credit card panel, fold it over, and then clip it in place. And then we're going to set this aside to give it a little bit of time to dry. The one I just finished is really easy, but really pretty. Do you video any of yours, Natalie? Nope, iron and clip, hand sew. Oh gosh, so you're a pro. You can do any of those, I think. Okay. I think I'll probably wind up glue basting it. That just looks like it's the fastest. I'm definitely not going to hand stitch it. Do you make the quilts by hand or sewing machine? I plan on using a sewing machine, but you could definitely make it by hand. I'll see if I can find the name. Okay, cool. All right, so I'm just folding that over and clipping it down, and then we're gonna set this aside to dry after we get all these attached. And with TikTok, I swear, you like one quilting video or you stay on it and watch it too long, it's quilting in your feed for like the next week. Every other video. Oh, no doubt. Thanks. This is the classic zip around wallet by Maggie55. If you use glue to base the binding, heat set it with your iron. Yeah, that's what I see everybody doing. Adding a little glue and then ironing it down. Alright, so this is what our interior of our wallet is going to look like. So these sides at the end, they get sewn together, and that's going to help keep the wallet from opening totally flat. It'll be at a little angle. We're also going to use that to put our zipper pocket in the center when we're done. So that's like one of the final steps. Hi, Ellie. So I'm going to set this aside and we're going to work on the exterior. And the exterior just gets a zipper. So what do I want to do first? Let me mark the center of my zipper. So there's some markings on the inside. I use craft text for this, which is what the pattern calls for. So this is going to be the center of the front and back of the wallet. We're going to mark the center of our zipper, and that way when we take these two pieces apart, because the center is marked, it'll line up perfectly. Isn't it pretty? I love this print. Of course, will make my life easier. Oh, I'm sorry, Lainey. But it definitely will, because there's a lot of pockets in this. All right, let me add my pool. Just gonna lay this down and mark the center. I've been adding just a little clip at the end of my zipper. That way when I take the zipper down, I don't accidentally take it all the way off and have to reline it up. Are you going home for the Christmas? No, we usually stay here for Christmas. We traditionally go home, we'll go back to the mainland on Thanksgiving, but we stayed this Thanksgiving. But we will be back on the mainland in just a few months, June. Just sewing a few stitches. That came completely out. Rebecca, I'm working on my first. About to start sewing. Oh, awesome! Why not use a zipper stop? So the zipper is going to be this zipper is purchased by the yard, so it doesn't have a traditional zipper end to it. You could add one. They do sell zipper ends, but it's not really necessary, and I'll show you why in a second. Just because the zipper is going to be tucked in. Let me show you. So the ends of the zipper is going to be tucked in between the interior and exterior. So you don't really need to apply a zipper end. There's about this much left of the zipper on either side that gets tucked in and glued in place. So I mean, you can add a zipper in. It's definitely not necessary. I wouldn't take the time to do it. Okay. So we didn't backstitch when we started and when we stopped. Let me pull that back out. Let me see if I can show you. Because we're tucking the zipper into the interior and exterior, We do a little false stitch, which is what this is right here. It's a little false stitch on the bottom. And what the reason is, because the reason why we pull the threads back instead of back stitching is because we're also going to use that same stitch line to sew the zipper on. So we want to make it look like a seamless stitch. You can back stitch. It'll just give you a little extra thickness of threads. Waste of time and product. Yeah, I agree. I would never tell somebody that though. But it does. It takes a lot of time. I actually purchased some zipper ends from Tandy Leather, or is it Tandy? I think Tandy Leather. They had a sale going on. And then they arrived and I was like, there's no way I'm going to take the time to put these little things on. Alright, so we just pull our thread through and then knot it off. That's going to secure that stitch line. Alright, now the pattern says to take your threads down. You can cut them. I've been doing a lot of restocks of my zip around wallets, a lot of the minis. So I have my tape here, so I'll just go ahead and tape it down. Alright, now we're going to mark up the interior where our zipper goes, and then we're going to sew that on. So I normally do the straight ways first, and then I just kind of go around the curved edges and connect the lines. I could use glue or double-sided tape for the edges of the vinyl. Glue. Glue. It holds everything down really nicely. So I'm just connecting those lines. So I use glue for the part to connect the vinyl to the craft text, and then I'm going to use double-sided tape to connect the zipper to the vinyl, which is the next part. Okay. So I'm using 1/4 inch double-sided tape. I get this from Wawak, WAWAK.com, which yesterday I received my replacement for my 1/2 inch double-sided tape that was bad. So thanks, Wawak. They have wonderful customer service. Alright, so we're going all the way around except for the center where we already made those false stitches. And this is going to hold our zipper down while we're sewing it. But you could use glue. Alright. Tape is down. I'm going to pull off the backing. We're going to do one side at a time. Oh, that's cool. Yes. Yes, I did. Alright, so I've got my center of my zipper marked. I'm going to go ahead and align the center of my zipper to the center line that's on my craft text, and then push that into the tape. gonna do my corners last, so I just kind of bring it around the corner, but I don't press it into the tape. So it looks like that. And then I do my corner. And the great thing about the tape is that if you didn't get the right size or left enough of the tape around the corner, you can just lift this whole thing up and reposition it. And I don't pull my zipper tape down. I just lay it down and then press it into the tape. You don't want to have a whole lot of tension on that tape. We need it to stretch just a little bit when it's going around. All right, so I'm going to clip my ends down. Give it one more good press. So that's what it's going to look like after it's stitched on. Hey Nina, how are you? Going to flip up, and then I'm going to go ahead and start in the last stitch hole that we did our center stitches, and then I'm going to come all the way around and then stop in that hole. Go nice and slow around those corners. And then just like the center stitches, we're going to pull our thread through and knot it off. Good to see you too. And I'll show you up close the stitching. I'm just gonna pick up this tape that I used earlier and just put that thread down. My granddaughter is excited. She can't wait to see this. I love that. Did I just get on about 20 minutes ago? You haven't missed much. There we go. So the zipper is stitched on. I missed my starting hole by a tiny bit. That's okay, that's sewing. And then this one lines up pretty good. And then we're gonna do the same thing over here. Clip that out of the way. Thanks, Leslie. Take the backing off. I think I might know what's wrong with this. All right, so I'm gonna swing my zipper, find that center mark, match it with the center mark on the craft text, and just let it fall down. I'm not pulling it. Okay, so now we're going to go ahead and sew up this side. One more press into the tape. Just clip this out of the way. Oh, shucks. I'm not a fan of these. I need to just buy the ones that I like. All right. All right, we're gonna pull the threads through, knot them off. Tuck it underneath that same piece of tape. Okay, now I'm going to close up the wallet, make sure everything matches up. It's always a good idea to do that before you go any further. So pretty, so pretty. It's gonna get a little thicker when we put the interior in. And then, like I said, these little pieces right here are going to be tucked down on the inside. All right. I'm gonna flip these zippers back, add some double-sided tape in the center, not the center, on the top and on the bottom. That's gonna hold the interior in place when we sew these two together. Hey Mona! Good to ask what this man makes this seamless stitch. Oh. Okay, so I'm gonna set this aside, pull our interior back out, and then now what I'm gonna go ahead and do, these are just glued down. So now I'm gonna go ahead and stitch each one of these sides down in place. Alright, last one. Okay, now we're going to sew the interior to the exterior. So when we're done, it'll look kind of like that. So I'm going to take the backing off the tape. I'm going to grab some water. Line up the interior. I want to make sure it's centered, both width and height. And I'm just going to press that into the tape. And then we're going to go ahead and sew another stitch line. And remember, we have the false stitches in the center. So I'm going to start this next stitch from here and go all the way around and stop here. And then we're going to do the same thing. We're going to skip the center, and that's going to allow this part of the interior to be open right here. So that way we can eventually get our zipper ends out of the way by tucking them in between those two layers. You have any tips on getting the interior to sit right? My zipper always catch when I do this wallet. I like to flip up my zipper on the sides like that. So I would not sew it with the zipper like it will be when it's done. I like to flip that over the edge. I don't know if you do that, but that definitely helps. Let me get some of these clips out of my way. You're welcome. All right, getting that lined up. That's the second stitch line underneath that. And then we're going to pull those threads through and knot them off. And then these ones we're actually going to trim. Oh man, I'm nervous. You didn't check like you always do if it closes well. Don't be nervous. I can tell based off the distance of my sides to my zipper and the top to my zipper. Don't be nervous. But it will zip up. I'll do it before I sew the other side. My 7-month-old grandbaby is watching this like she's going to be so... Oh, I love that. Encourage her to. Alright, so I'm going to flip up these. Perfect. It is a good idea to check it though before you sew the interior. But like I said, I've been making so many of these over the last few days. I don't know if you can see. I don't know if you, no, I don't think you can see over there. But I could just tell. Okay, so this side is done, and then we're going to do the same thing over here. Just a couple more steps and she is done. It's my favorite wallet pattern ever. Have you made the mini? I have. I was actually showing that off earlier. I have. I know, they are cute. If I used a wallet, I would probably use the mini. Just because it's really big enough to put, you know, a couple things that you need. A couple dollars, couple cards. Alright, I'm just singeing my threads after I tied them off. I'll flip my zipper corners back over. I like to give it a little roll. Those two pieces of craft text that are now in the center of the wallet, they are really thick and hard, so I like to just kind of give it a little roll. And then now what we're going to do is sew up our side pieces. I love the minis too. I mean, I love the regular. This is a great pattern. Okay, now we're going to sew down the side of both of these, and then the next step is to sew our zipper pocket in the center. So these two side pieces are going to hold that zipper pocket in place. Every time I see this print or look at it, I think of Lily of the Valley, and I can't stop. Okay, I'm gonna sew this in. So if you want to make sure that your zippers are opening up the same way, when your pocket is open, whatever side that your pull is on, you want to make sure that your pull on the outside is on as well. Why can't we see your face? It's the position of my camera. Do you want to see my face? I don't have any makeup on, so you probably don't. The answer to that is no. No, thank you. I have this pattern but not done it successfully. It takes a little bit of time. I remember when I first started doing it, just like any pattern, I feel like it just takes practice. Just don't quit. Especially, I mean, obviously if you want to do it, you just gotta practice. Even have the acrylics. Oh my goodness. That was my grandma's perfume. Oh, Lily. All right, that's the last sewing on this pattern. I'm just going to singe the ends of my thread. This is better view for us to see exactly. All right. This is what the wallet looks on the inside, and remember, because we didn't sew down the top of our credit card slot, we have a little section behind each one of them. And then of course we have the zipper pocket, and then you can use each side as a section to hold stuff as well. All right, so the last step is just to get rid of our zipper ends. I'm going to, Lorraine, this was the charm that you wanted, yeah? Hey, Peggy. Yes, okay. Gonna add this to the pool. I'm gonna go ahead and trim this down just a little. I'm also going to hit the ends of the zipper tape with my lighter. And that just seals those so they don't unravel. Okay, I like to start with the closed end. So what I'm going to do is pull my pocket all the way over to get that out of the way. I'm going to, I usually do this on my lap. I'm going to pull back the interior just a little bit, because remember, that's craft text and it's really thick. I'm going to pull it up as far as I can, fold my zipper. I'm going to grab it with my pliers and then tuck it in between those two layers. And then what I like to do is come from the front and just slide that down. Oh, sometimes it takes a little pushing and maneuvering. That looks pretty good. So that's what it's going to look like. And then what we're going to do, once we get the other side done, we're going to put this nozzle down in here and then add some glue, which is going to secure the zipper in place. All right, so I'm gonna do the same thing over here. Pull this back, pull up the interior just a little bit, grab my zipper tape, tuck it down, we go. And that worked pretty good, which it normally doesn't. I normally have to finagle it. But you don't want to stuff it down there when you first get it in because you want it to be able to be pliable. And so now we're just going to seal that in place. Before I do that, I'm just going to open it up one more time. Once I seal it with the glue, I don't like to open and close it for at least 20 minutes. Yeah, this is Fabri-Tac. I got this from, I think, Walmart. All right, Miss Lorraine, so your wallet is all done. There we go. All right. Want to make sure that your nozzle is nice and clean because it's going to be touching your fabric and your zipper when you push it down in there. There we go. I don't know if you'll be able to see it. Probably not. I was saying heavy duty. It's on its way. I'm looking forward to making all. Congratulations. Okay, I am going to set this aside to dry and then we're going to work on her bag. First time I did this wallet was with Designer Pattern. They use a lot of glue. Yeah. Yes. Okay. I'm going to switch my thread to black, but there's a couple of steps on this bag. Like with the red fabric that I want to use my red thread for. So I'm going to go ahead and do, what do I want to do first? Let's do our zipper panel closure. And then I'm going to do the zipper pocket. And then I'm going to do the slip pocket. And I'm going to switch it out to black thread. Because like the shoulder strap and a couple other things are black. All right, I went ahead and prepped our pieces. All right, I'm gonna clean up. All right, so first we're gonna go ahead and open up our zipper. I'm lost with this part of the pattern. This part of the Kiana. What part? Or what specifically? Can somebody pin that when she responds? He or she? Yep, how I do. How do I line it? So this gets a layer of Decaville Light. So you have two pattern pieces for your zipper panel. You have one for the fabric and then you have a pattern piece for your Decaville Light. And you're going to adhere your Decaville Light to your fabric. And I believe that's in like page 3 of prepping your fabric. And then you're going to glue your edges around the Decaville. And that's going to give you the finished edges on the front. All right, I'm going to mark down 1 inch from the top of the zipper. And then I'm going to fold down at that mark, just fold it, and then bring up the back. So we have kind of like a 90-degree curve. It curves out like that. Same thing on this side. Just like that. And then now we're going to sew down along the edges to secure that curve so we can take the pin out. Just like that. going to trim off the excess fabric. I'm just going to do that over my trash can so it doesn't go flying across the room. And then I'm going to go ahead and hit the sides with my lighter so they don't unravel. There we go. That's how you prep the zipper. And then now I'm going to grab my panel pieces. So essentially what's going to happen is this is going to be the panel or the closure for our bag. And that's what it's going to look like. These are going to go underneath these two. So I'm just going to grab some double-sided tape. I'm going to use 1/2 inch. Lay it down along one of the finished sides. Take off the backing. I don't know if you heard that noise that just started. My husband got my dogs one of these toys that's motion activated, and it'll just kind of like spin around when there's motion. And one of my dogs loves it and the other one hates it, and I hear it going off downstairs, so it sounds like one of them is playing with it. All right, so that is one side, and then we're gonna do the exact same thing for the other side. There we go. So I'm going to go ahead and sew this in place by just sewing down the short edge along the side with the zipper, and then up this side. You can do this as well, this side as well. It's not necessary though. I've been waiting to get one of those for my dog. One of mine is absolutely terrified. But it is charged with a USB port, so it doesn't take batteries, and it just keeps them entertained. But that's Butters, the one that likes it. She is the one that loves chasing lizards outside in the backyard, so it kind of moves around where she has to chase it. Alright, that side is done, zipped up. Just going to keep my pull out of the way. And then we're going to do the exact same thing for the other side. What can I use for straps if I don't get the snaps? I will wait for that part. Are you talking about like the rivets for your shoulder straps? You can sew them together. There are people that sew them instead of using rivets. I'm gonna tuck this zipper in just a little more. Alright, zipper panel is sewn. I'm going to go ahead and add my zipper end. Hit that with a lighter. Anytime I cut a zipper, I like to hit it with a lighter so it doesn't unravel. And then we're going to center our zipper end and then sew that on. I'm clipping it, it's just an awkward angle. Alright, so I'm going to just sew all the way around the outside. zipper is done. So I'm going to mark the center of both sides. This is just going to be necessary later. Alright, so that is our zipper panel. And then let's do our other zipper. This is going to be the zipper pocket for the outside of the bag. I'm just going to sew the zipper to both of the fabric pieces. I like to do this without my zipper full on just because I don't have to move it back and forth to get it out of the way. And then I'll just install it now. Alright, so this is going to be the pocket for the outside of our bag. So, this is what it's going to look like. This is going to be the back of the bag. And then the front of the bag is going to look like this. This is just a big old slip pocket for the front, and then the back has the zipper pocket. So I'm going to go ahead and install the zipper pocket first. Thanks, Lisa. If you guys aren't in my Facebook groups, just a heads up, all of my Big B handbags are $50 off through today. I started yesterday, so it's for yesterday and today. I think, yeah. Love that print. It's a custom, yeah. This is for Miss Lorraine. Alright, so I'm putting my ruler down so I can get it nice and centered. That's not centered. That is centered. Alright, I'm just pushing the double-sided tape. And then now I'm going to sew around the outside of this. Time for some new snips. Alright, just like the wallet, I'm going to pull my threads through. pull that thread through and then just knot them off together. What kind of sewing machine is that? Thanks, guys. It's a Juki 1181. It's an industrial sewing machine. Uh-oh, what did I miss? It's centered. Oh, shucks. All right, so we got about 2 inches there, and we got 1.5 in here, so it is a little bit off. So, Lorraine, there's a couple options. So I'll take this off. I don't think I have any more of this color because I actually printed it from, or I cut it off the same piece of fabric from here, but I do have a red. Let's just see. Let's just see what happens. I can go ahead and cut another one of these. That's too easy. I'm glad I looked up at the chat. It's okay. Hold on, let me get this puzzle. I didn't see who initially pointed it out, and if they said it in a rude way, guys, thank you for sticking up for me, but honestly, it doesn't bother me at all. But you guys are sweet. I'm actually glad I looked up and somebody did say something. Too easy. It's too easy to fix. I didn't see anything wrong. Oh, okay. It looked like I only saw someone's response to somebody pointing it out. So it's okay, guys. It's never going to be that serious. So, pro tip, if you just pull up the thread on one side, then the backing thread just kind of pulls away. Try to catch it before she sewed it. Oh yeah, sorry, I wasn't looking at the chat. But yeah, it's okay. I would rather somebody point out something that's wrong because I don't always catch everything. I'm sewing, I'm looking at the chat, I'm trying to keep everything going, so I do miss things. So I appreciate. I did read and remember. That's okay. Don't make somebody else make you go out of character. It's all good. Okay. Let's see if we can just salvage it with this fabric. Because remember, it's just taped down. All I need to do is move it over just a little bit, and you are going to see the holes. So when I shift it over to make it center, there are holes right here. So I'm actually going to go ahead and cut out another piece of vinyl. So let me go ahead, and we should still be able to use that, but hold on. Let's go ahead and work on our slip pocket. So this slip pocket gets a magnetic snap, so we're going to install that first. So this right here is the lining for the pocket. I am just clipping it right sides together. I'm gonna go ahead and mark where this gets installed, making sure it's nice and centered. Alright, that is centered. I'm just going to double measure 6.5. 6.5. Alright, I'm going to mark where the prongs go through, and then I'm going to poke through both layers at one time. I'm going to install one to the main. And then we'll install the other one after we put our pocket together. So we have our front or our outside and our lining. I'm gonna clip those together. All right, so we're just going to sew along the top. Okay, I'm going to trim the top, my pinking shears, just getting a little bit of that extra fabric out of there. I'm going to turn it right side out. She did not want a name tape on this. I normally put the name tape on the slip pocket. She instead is going to do the charms for the zipper. So if you're making this bag, I usually have the nameplate on the front of the slip pocket. Beautiful weather today. Looks like we're trying to change the subject. Guys, it's literally okay. It's all good. I was talking to my sister who lives in Virginia, and she was saying how chilly it was going to get. But it's literally the same weather here every single day. It's like Groundhog's Day. Let me show you. Let me pull it up on my phone. So this is where I live. And it's actually a little bit chilly over the next couple of days, but it's like literally, it's in the 80s almost every single day. And then it gets a little chilly at nighttime, but the weather is like perfect. It's been freezing here. Oh gosh. I remember last year, the day after Christmas, my husband and I went to the beach just because the weather was so perfect. All right, top stitch done. Hey Stacy, snowed here this morning. I'm actually going to visit my mom in a few weeks in Tennessee, and I'm really looking forward. She said it's cold out there. I'm really looking forward to getting some cold weather. I grew up in Virginia, so we have literally all 4 seasons. All right, I just installed the other magnetic snap. Thyroid issues, I never feel the cold, but I'm blaming it today. All right, so the magnetic snap is attached. Going to line that up, and then I'm just going to do a stay stitch all the way around. You have the cold weather. I'm in Alaska. Yeah, go to the beach. Are you guys PCS into Virginia? We're not sure. Most likely, yes. We'll know probably like the middle of either the beginning or the middle of January. We'll know for sure. He should have his orders by then. Most likely, yes. Thanks, Lisa. Is the fabric red or dark pink? It's red. So this flower right here, I would probably say is a little dark pink, but it's red. So this is the red fabric. It's the same red, it's just a little darker, but it's red. Just like this. This is a red zipper. You can kind of see it looks almost exactly the same. I love having porcelain same. All right, so here is the exterior slip pocket with the magnetic snap. I'm going to set this aside. I need to go cut another panel. I'm definitely going to be reusing this for scrap. So what I'll probably do is just cut this off where the holes are. And then just use this as scrap. So it could be like shoulder strap attachments. It could be like the bottom panel. I think it's probably the same size as the bottom panel for this bag. This is the bottom. So I never throw out any vinyl, even if I messed up on, because I can reuse it. Okay, Lorraine and friends. This is a walking foot. This is vinyl. It's a faux leather. I'm going to step out to my cutting room really quick. I'm going to cut out another one of these, and I'm probably going to cut out another piece of this in the red that I have, and we'll see what happens. So I'll be right back. Give me like just give me a couple of minutes. I'm going to mute this because I also have to run to the restroom. I didn't mean to pause it. Okay, can you guys hear me all right? I actually noticed that the colors on the red that I have are just a little bit off. So this question is for Lorraine. Do you want to use the same one that matches your front piece? Now it already has holes on it, and so when I'm sewing it back, those holes might show. Or do you want to use this red, which is just a little bit different than the pocket? I'm fine either way. Just gonna go ahead and cut this out. I use my template to make the marks. Can one of my moderators pin her response, please? Use the new one, I think. Okay. It's going to be on the back of the bag, so it's not really going to be that noticeable, the color difference. So I'll put them together. It's just like a shade darker. Yeah, it's on the back, so it won't be that noticeable. All right. Done. Let's try this again. All right, so double-sided tape. We're gonna measure twice. So once. The darker still matches. Yes, that's true. It does still match the dark in the lily. Okay. Let's do this once more. All right, so we got 2 inches here, and then we have 2 inches here. So I'm gonna press the tape down, and then I'm gonna come back and measure it once more. A little short of 2 inches, and right at 2 inches. So that's good. We are centered. I usually do this appropriately, it's not a second, but I can never cut straight. Oh, I use my rotary cutter to cut down the side or the long ways, and then like when I get up to here, I just trim it up. All right, let's do this again. All right, I'm gonna pull my thread through. Don't want to sew over these tails, so I'm just making sure they're out of the way. All right, we're back in business. gonna singe those little pieces of thread left over. All right, I'm out. All right, now what we're going to do is get this vinyl out of the center. I need to make as many like, oh, you know what? I actually saw one the other day. I had never seen them, but I was scrolling through TikTok, of course, and somebody was sewing. I don't remember what they were sewing because my attention was on their little lighter. Okay, so that is just getting rid of the fabric behind the overlay, and then now I'm going to add double-sided tape along the top and bottom. That's going to hold that zipper pocket in place while I sew it on. Add those in some fabrics. Yay, I can't wait. Your fabrics are pretty popular with my custom orders. If you've never ordered, had a custom order from me before, the process is that you decide on the style. So for example, this is the Kiana bag, and then you decide on your print, which is like in this case, this lily. And then once your fabric gets in, I line your material up with like a lot of the interior linings that I have available, and you can choose whichever one that you want. And so I've used Daphne's fabric for a couple of custom orders, and those are the ones that usually get picked. Same thing with zipper colors, same thing with the coordinating vinyl. I send pictures of everything that I have, and then you just choose. Okay, so now I'm going to center the zipper. And press it into the tape. Okay, and then now I'm just going to sew along the inside of the box. I'm going to pull my thread through. And then we're going to knot that off. just got a delivery. I got some new fabric, and I had it printed. It's quilting cotton. I had it custom printed. I've tried, within the last week, I ordered from 2 different printeries. The first one that came in I really liked, and then I wanted to try something different, so I got it from someone else just to see what I like. I want to start offering custom fabric for the lining. It's super expensive though. Like one of them that I ordered, it was $10 for a half of a yard. $10 for a half a yard. At a good sale, I can get a yard at Joann for like $5 or $6. So for $10 for a half a yard, this fabric better be amazing. I know there's some that aren't that expensive, but I've tried so many different printeries. Okay, I'm gonna trim this down. That's crazy, that happens sometimes. Was it silk? No. It was quilting cotton. I think it was like a calico. It wasn't like organic or anything. It was just regular old cotton. Alright, anytime I trim my zippers, I want to hit it with my lighter. Also going to add a little bit of E6000 glue right behind that zipper overlay where the zipper meets it, just to reinforce that side. Alright, we'll set this aside to dry. So here is the front, here is the back. The dark red, it actually matches the zipper just a little bit more. That's our zipper pocket. So we're gonna put a charm on this when we're done with the bag. All right, now what I wanna do is switch up my thread. We're gonna move over to black, the rest of the pieces of the bag are black. Thanks, lady. Sorry about that zipper. That was just totally my fault. All right, let me thread this machine and we will be ready to rock. Alright, let's go ahead and switch over to the interior. So I'm going to sew the gusset. The gusset is just the part of the bag that gives it depth. So we've got the side bands sewn on. We're going to open that up and give it a top stitch. So this is the gusset. It's gonna go like this. And then we have the front and back and then a zippered closure. Let's go ahead and add the top bands to the interior. And we need the zipper. Remember how I marked the top of the zipper earlier to prep? So I'm going to match that with the center mark that I made earlier for the interior. I feel like I need to double measure everything to make sure. It's 1.5, and that's 1.5. Okay, so the zipper goes in between the main part of the interior and the top band. So we're going to turn this, clip it in place, and then sew that down. Hey Lisa! Then we're going to open it up and do a little top stitch. Alright, we're going to grab the other side. So one of them has a zipper pocket and then one interior side pieces has a dual slip pocket with these nice size pockets. So we're going to center the zipper panel. I'm going to grab the other top panel, flip that over, and then clip all of them together. Open that up, do a top stitch. Alright, now we're going to add the gusset. So this is what we're looking like. This is the view at the top of the bag when you open it up. And then we just need the gusset to go all the way around the bag. All right, so we're going to center, clip it in place. I'm going to add a couple of pins to the corner. Okay. So we have the gusset attached just along the straightways, and then on the corners I like to use pins. Just a couple. Would it work with using double-sided tape on the zipper panel instead of glue? Yeah. I would say yes. glue is just going to make it easier for you. But you're eventually sewing those sides down, those finished edges down, so the tape to hold those in place will work. And then once you actually sew your panel together, you're sewing those edges down to secure them. So, yes. All right, let's sew this gusset on. I still have my top stitch length. Side is all done, and then we're just going to do the exact same thing with the other side. What stitch length I used to top stitch? Between 4.5 and 5. Alright, so the gusset is attached to one side, and then we're going to attach it to this side. I'm going to clip the zipper pocket out of the way so I don't accidentally sew it when I'm attaching the gusset. So we're going to start with the centers. I usually do this in my lap, so it's at a bit of an awkward angle. Hi, Kelly. All right, clips are done. Let's add some pins. I watched a documentary yesterday. It was called The Perfect Wife. It was on Hulu. 10 out of 10 recommend. The lady was absolutely nutso. It was very entertaining though. I love a good documentary. Okay, so this side is now attached and we're going to sew that on. Never seen it. It's really good. Is this the one who faked being kidnapped? Yes. The blonde-headed lady, she had a couple kids. Yes, it was really good. Like from start, I think it's like a docu-series. So there's a couple of episodes, and like every episode I was like, oh, it's definitely this person. And then the episode would play and it wouldn't be. And then I was like, oh, well, it's got to be this person. Very interesting. Yes, it was awful. I know, I felt bad. And at the beginning, I was like, this husband is such a jerk. It's definitely him. But I don't want to give away the movie. but he was kind of, I don't want to use the word that I would normally use. He was just kind of a jerky. I'm just trimming the excess fabric. It was called The Perfect Wife. I watched it on Hulu. I don't know if it's anywhere else. Alright, just getting that extra fabric out of those corners. So the interior, I'm going to unclip my zipper pocket. Interior is all done, so that is going to be the top when you open up the bag. You got the same vibe? Yeah. And then we have the zipper pocket on one side and then the dual slip pocket on the other side. Alright, so I'm going to set this aside. Actually, I'm going to just sew my side seams open. Then I'm going to set it aside. Sewing these side seams open is going to allow it to lay a little bit flatter, and it'll make it a little bit easier when we put the interior and exterior together. Alright, done. And then we're going to work on our shoulder strap connector. So this bag comes with a shoulder strap. I'm going to use some 1/2 inch double-sided tape. Put it down along the center. I'm going to cut up a couple more pieces of tape that I'm going to need in a minute. Okay. Take off the backing. We're going to fold each side into the center. I like to leave about 1/16 of an inch maybe. And then taper it up towards the top. That way this top right here is smaller than the rest of this, and when we fold it over, it's just going to tuck behind a little bit better. So I'm going to add a piece of double-sided tape, make a mark where this gets folded over. Grab my hardware, slide that on. Fold this over to meet that mark. And that's going to be our shoulder strap connector. I'm going to add a couple of pieces of double-sided tape. This is our side piece, so I'm just going to tape this down to my side piece, and then we will sew it. Just making sure everything is nice and centered. There we go. So we're going to sew this down. I'm just going to get this one set up first. Hey, Susan. Happy Friday. sew these on. I'm going to use a 4.5 stitch length. What it looks like stitched on. These side pieces are a part of the gusset for the exterior. So you know how we just did the interior gusset? We are now creating the gusset for the exterior. So the sides and the bottom are going to create that one long piece of fabric for the gusset for the exterior. So we're going to go ahead and sew these together. Oh, thanks, Nikki. I'm going to open this up and do a top stitch along the bottom. Just like that. And then we're going to do the exact same thing over here. Sew the side down and then open up and do a top stitch. Okay, I'm going to mark the center of the bottom just like we did for the interior. I'm going to grab one of my exterior pieces, mark the center of the bottom. While I'm here, I'm just going to do the other one as well. Get this pocket out of the way. Okay. So we're going to match, I don't know why I always do that. Mark the wrong side. Okay, so we're going to match the centers and then clip them in place. How long does one of these take you to complete? From like start to finish, like cut out, because you have to remember every piece of this has to be cut out. Hold on. Every piece has to be cut out. So from start to finish, I would probably say 2.5 hours. Thank you. Okay, so I'm gonna do the straight parts first, and then you know how we pinned the interior? We're actually going to use staples on the exterior. Pins leave holes that will not come out of vinyl. That's not the case with cotton, which is what the interior was, so it didn't really matter. So I'm gonna use staples for the corners, and then after I sew it down, I'm gonna remove those staples. Grab my staple remover. Okay. I'm new to sewing and I feel like everything takes a long time. Yeah, I remember when I first started sewing, yeah, it took forever. But the more you do it, the quicker you get at it. The quicker you get at it, the less time it takes. It's just about practicing and the repetition of it all. I'm gonna open up my seam. I'm gonna try to. Alright, so I just added a couple of staples. They are on the outside of my fabric. I'm going to be sewing underneath them, so I'm not going to be sewing over them. I'm going to put a little, this is at the stud. Are you going to put a little stud at, I'm sorry, Peggy, I'm trying to decipher. I'm sure there's some autocorrect involved. But I'm not sure what you're asking. Okay. Gonna sew this down. What do you do on your other little purses, the little metal pieces? I'm not sure what metal pieces you're talking about. I'm so sorry. Studs, metal pieces. I'm so sorry. I don't know what you're asking. Rivets. I don't usually put rivets on my bags at this point. There's one pattern, I think it's the Colette, that I use rivets on the shoulder strap connector, but most of my other bags I don't. Like, I'm thinking about the Becca, the Big B, the Aries. Those don't get rivets on the connectors, if that's what you're asking about. Purse feet? Oh. This bag doesn't come with purse feet. But this is a custom order. Huh. Good call, Dash. I wasn't even thinking about purse feet. I was thinking rivets. All right. All right, done. Let me get these staples out. And then we only have a couple more steps. Oh, I forgot. She asked for a key leash, so I'm going to be making that next. I feel like it's almost time for my second cup of coffee. Alright, those are all out. Let me just do a double take. Is everyone ready for Christmas? Doesn't it sound good, Susan? Alright, let me trim a little bit of this excess fabric out of the corners. I don't like to do a whole lot of it. Going to sew open my side seams and then sew up this key leash, and then I think it's time to put everything together. Is there a reason you're using the scissors to trim rather than typical scissors? Yeah, it actually gets out a little bit more fabric than just a regular straight line. These are called pinking shears, so it goes into the fabric and cuts out just a little bit more. So it's not just a straight line across. But regular scissors would work. Alright, sides are sewn open. Take this down. So our exterior is all done. All I have to do is make this key leash, and then we can put the inside and outside together. So I'm just going to use double-sided tape along one side. And then we're just going to fold this in half. I used to make these where I double folded it like I do for my wristlet straps. I just find that it's way too thick to do it that way. I really like the size and feel and weight of doing it this way. Rivet stud handbags, purse feet is what I meant. Oh, purse feet. Yeah, this bag doesn't get crispy. Okay, let me grab my hardware and a rivet. I'm going to slide my lobster clasp up. I'm going to fold it one time and then fold it again, which is going to give it a nice finished edge. I'm going to hold all of those layers together and poke through the center. Key leash looks good. I'm always worried I'm going to lose. Has to be keys, yeah. It's just so convenient to be able to just grab something really quick and pull up your car keys. I use a like a key fob for my car, so I don't have actual keys. So I probably wouldn't use one that often, but I mean, you can connect other things to it. You can connect, like if you have like a little wallet, like a keychain wallet, if you want quick access to your cards, you can do it that way. All right, so that's done. Do you have a preference where you want it? You want it on the side that when the zipper is closed, you have your zipper end here. Do you want it over here for quick access? Over on this side? That way you can just whoosh. I made it a little bit longer than it needs to be. So I'll probably put it right there. Yes, okay. Go ahead and just sew that in place. Just going to make sure it's nice and centered. All right, now it's time to sew the inside and outside together. So we're going to turn this right side out. Make sure our zipper pocket's open. Also going to open up my zipper pocket on the inside or the outside. That way I know all my pulls are going to be going together. Then I'm just going to start by lining up my side seams. I think this is my last custom order until next week. I have some fabric I'm just waiting on. I have a couple other custom orders. I'm just waiting for their fabric to get in, which I'm not sure if I'm going to get that before Christmas or after. So this weekend I don't have to prep for any custom orders. So I might do some work on my new quilts. Is that something that you guys would like me to go live and see, or are you guys just fan of the bags? Because if I get some time and I can go live, I definitely will. Yes, okay. I know I have a whole bunch of batting. I have different type of batting too. So I'm going to have to look around at some things probably tonight and tomorrow. I would love to see that. I've been waiting to get into quilting. Me too. This would be my first one. Oh, you're so sweet, Laura Kay. Yes to quilt. Okay. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and sew the interior and exterior together. Oh, sewing is different. True. Hi, Danny. I've done some quilting makeup bags, but I'm scared to make a whole actual quilt. It's the same thing, yeah? Here's, when I try new things, I literally don't put any pressure on myself. If it works out, it works out. If it doesn't, I try. I know I am very fortunate to have a lot of material. So I know everybody can't have the mind frame of that, just because a lot of people, if they mess up, they don't have any more material to replace it. But if you do, live your life like that. Like, what's the worst that can happen? Growing up, my mom raised us like that. What's the worst that can happen? Okay, but did you die? Okay, but are you gonna die? Okay, but aren't you gonna go see God after that? Like, what's the worst that can happen? You waste fabric. It takes the pressure off of decisions. I want to get in bed making another quilt for years. I'm the opposite. I've been making bags for years and want to get into quilting. I've been saying it for the longest time. I've quilted a couple of bags. Uh-oh. My light got unplugged. Alright, I'm going to trim the top curves so that they lay nicely once we turn it right side out. If you don't ever try, you'll never know. Exactly. Quilting will come easy. I hope so. I think what I'm most nervous about is just the organization of the pattern. I'm not really looking forward to cutting all of those little pieces either. All right, let's turn this baddie right side out. Aw, thank you guys. Thanks, Steph. I'm sure I'm going to be reaching out to you. Alright, let me get my seams pushed out. I like pushing it up against my body just so it's not going to be in camera. Sorry. You'll love it. It's like an expensive puzzle. Exactly. That would be a new line. Yeah. I think I just want to, like, I have a niece that's having a baby. I have a brother that has some younger kids. So I just kind of want to do as like little gifts. I'm sure my first couple ones will be gifts anyways. Anytime I try something new, they usually end up being gifts. Isn't it pretty? Even though this is a custom order, I can get more of this fabric if somebody else would like to order the same print and like maybe change the vinyl from black to red or like a purple or a pink. I think this with like cream would be really pretty. So I'm just rolling my seam out and then clipping everything down so that we can do a top stitch. Oh, good. I'm glad you're in love with it. I love that on your pattern for the vinyl. Yes, this is my own pattern. This is called the Kiana. All right, couple more clips. I'm going to sew up the pocket. Order. Oh, this is a custom order, yeah. This is a custom order from Miss Lorraine. Just tucking this pocket back in. All right, now we're going to top stitch, and then after that, I'm going to add the shoulder strap, and then when I'm done, probably, let me see if I can get my iron over here and then iron it down. It is going to look so cute with this wallet once everything is done. All right, let me get my tension right. And we sew. I get so mesmerized watching you that I reach out. That's hilarious. That's hilarious. All right. Sewing down this key leash. I just want to go nice and slow. Alright, I'm coming back to the beginning. How long have you been making bags? Almost 10 years. I've been sewing for about 10 years. I've had my business for about 8 years, maybe 9. Okay, top stitch is all done. And then the last step is just to add these shoulder straps that connect right here. So I'm going to mark up the ends, do a little bit of trimming so that we have a nice finished edge on the strap. The way that I do my strap for this bag is I make it removable. That way this bag can, you can use either just a regular shoulder strap or you can use a crossbody strap. You should create a quilted bag. I have. I've actually made this bag, this style, quilted. I have one right up here. So this is the same bag. It's quilted. My own personal bag is the same thing. The same bag I just showed you. It's just in a different color. It's like a mint, but it's quilted. I love this style bag, quilted. I really want to branch out and do like a Becca or a Big B, a full panel Big B quilted vinyl. I think would look so amazing. I don't have the time to do everything I want to do. Oh, stop, I'm obsessed. You ran out of thread and hit holes already made. Have you practiced hitting holes in vinyl? Yeah, I mean, I've done it with so many things. I wouldn't say that I've practiced. Like the zip around wallet that I did earlier, you have to start sewing in one hole and then stop sewing in another hole. I'm definitely not perfect at it. Same thing with that zipper overlay that I did. When you start sewing, you sew all the way around and the goal is to end in that hole. My notebook covers, my passport holders, all of those. I do. Maybe a Big B with cotton Hawaiian print quilt. Yes, I remember that. I remember that. I just am thinking, my brain is the solid vinyl quilted. Like that's my current obsession. And I think that on a Big B would be amazing. All right. Can back that tension down a little. Trim my thread. So I use lobster clasp. At this point, if you make this bag, there's a couple of options. Somebody was asking me if they don't have rivets. You can slide this underneath here. You can rivet it on if you want to have this permanently attached. You could sew, so I would sew probably a box. You can sew that on. I like to use lobster clasp. That way it's removable, right? So instead of a shoulder strap, if you want to wear a crossbody strap, you can just take this off and put a crossbody strap on. So I'm going to do that. And then I need to add the charms, and then we are all done. Let me turn my iron back on so I can get that ironed. So I'm going to just punch right in the center. Isn't it pretty? Wait till you see it with the wallet. Okay. Let's add the charms. How adorable is that? These are the ones that you wanted, right, Lorraine? Alright, so we're going to put one. Get this out of the way. On the zipper panel closure. And then one on the back zipper. Such an awkward angle. Go. Isn't it so pretty? It's 12:30 in the afternoon here. I don't think that my mail has been picked up, so I might be able to jump off here and pack them up. That way they go out today, so you don't have to wait for tomorrow. But if it's already been picked up, or if I can't, it'll go out first thing in the morning. There we go. So cute. So pretty. Like I said, see how I told you can't really tell that the zipper panel is a different color because it's all the way on the back. But here is your set. I hope you love it. Thank you for letting me make it for you. Miss Lorraine is in the UK too. So, it'll take a little bit longer, but that's why I want to get it out as soon as possible. Let me iron the inside of the bag before I forget and run out to pack it up. Alrighty. It will be on its way to you no later than tomorrow. And I might see you guys this weekend. I'm going to hopefully start working on my... Thank you so much. I'm so glad that you love them. I'm going to start working on my quilts. As soon as I hop off here, I'm probably, after I get this packed up, I'm probably going to start looking at patterns. So, Daph, I might reach out to you. Keep your ringer on. But thanks for hanging out with me today. Oh, you guys are so sweet. Merry Christmas. If I don't see you guys, I'm probably going to come live either over the weekend or before Christmas. But if you don't get to attend, I hope you have a very Merry Christmas. Stay safe. Reach out. I will. I will. And I'll see you guys the next time I go live. If you're in my Facebook group, I'll go ahead and make a post before I go live this weekend if I do. Bye. Have a good Friday night.